Aloha! Lockdown greetings to you. I'm just gonna go ahead and say how we're all feeling. We're bored. Well, most of the world is anyway. These past few months have been absolutely crazy. With this craziness have come a plethora of hilarious incidents making the rounds on social media, from naked Zoom meetings to people disguising themselves as trees. Here are some of the funniest incidents during lockdown from around the world. We've all been cooped up in our houses, and life as we know it has been altered in so many ways, with new habits like working from home, the creation of new ridiculous laws, and people now having way too much free time than they know what to do with. Recently, a man built a chill spot, an actual outdoor picnic bench for, wait for it, squirrels. All these changes have resulted in a series of hilarious incidents occurring all around the world. And today we have curated a list of the funniest incidents that are guaranteed to leave you clutching your sides from laughing too hard for your viewing pleasure. Let's dive right in, shall we? An office held an online Monday meeting chaired by Potato Face. My bad, I mean the boss. Remember that childhood nightmare we all had of showing up to school in just our underwear? Well, it's been revamped into a working class version of showing up to a Microsoft Team video conference with your potato filter turned on. Lizette Ocampo, the national political director for the progressive advocacy group People for the American Way, took the "Be a couch potato and save the world" motto to a whole new level when she showed up to a Monday meeting with her potato filter turned on and couldn't turn it back off. Her colleagues were thoroughly amused and reportedly spent 10 minutes out of the 30-minute duration of the meeting in a fit of laughter. Imagine having to keep a straight face while giving a report on the new marketing strategy to a pink-lipped potato placed neatly in the soil, while said potato stares back at you thoughtfully through your boss's eyes. I personally just want to commend her colleagues for not cackling away the entire 30 minutes allocated for the meeting. I suspect the desire to keep their jobs had something to do with it. Moral lesson: always make sure your potato filter isn't turned on before you start a work video conference, or else your colleagues may never look at you the same. Waldo delivered the mail. Imagine going out one beautiful quarantine morning to pick up the mail and seeing a grown man dressed in a cheerleader costume, complete with miniskirt, while delivering the mail. Well, if you live in Bourdon, this would be a regular sight by now. Yeah, you heard me. The people of Bourdon have gotten used to having Winnie the Pooh, a knight in not-so-shining armor, or any other character really, deliver their mail. Mailmen are essential workers and are allowed to continue doing their jobs regardless of the lockdown that's been put in place. John Matson has become a local celebrity in Bourdon, England, as his practice of showing up to do his rounds in costumes has become a major source of entertainment for the people of Bourdon. Mr. Matson dresses up as different characters every day. Some days he's a cheerleader, some days he's Waldo, some days if he's feeling up to it he's Cleopatra, to mention but a few of his comical costume choices. The celebrity mailman in an interview said that people now wait by their doors every morning for him to come around. He also went ahead to say that when the first person sees him, they quickly alert the rest of the neighborhood. Oh, what I wouldn't give to see our plump, red-faced mailman dressed as a hot dog. Wait, did I say that out loud? Corona and COVID were born. What if we were all named after memorable events that occurred around the period of our birth? If that happened, there's a chance that your dad or favorite uncle would be named Moon Landing, and your mom or favorite aunt just might be named I Have a Dream. I know what you're thinking. They named their kids what? Well, on the 27th of March 2020 in Raipur, India, when the lockdown measures were just becoming a reality and all our lives had just been put on hold, an Indian couple had a beautiful set of twins, a boy and a girl, who they proceeded to name, drumroll, Corona and COVID, in memory of the rough patch the world is going through. In an interview, the proud parents stated that they wanted to give them unique names that would serve as a reminder of the hardship they endured during the period of their birth. Aw, how cute. They did admit that there was the possibility of a name change later in the future because of pressure from family members who didn't quite like the idea. All things considered, the names are kinda cute. After all, Corona in Latin does mean crown. And I just hope that when they're of age, their schoolmates share this sentiment, because we all know it's not fun being a kid with a unique name in high school. On that note, I just want to say that if any of my friends have a baby anytime soon, I'm pulling up to name the kid Lockdown or Quarantine, because why not? In the meantime, say hello to Grandpa World War II for me. Do you have one of these unique names? Let us know in the comments section. We'd love to hear it. Man accidentally flashes his goodies after forgetting to end online video conference. Remember the thing I said earlier about underwear nightmares? Well, a middle-aged man identified as Tony took things up a notch in March when he came to the end of a video conference with his colleagues and went ahead to get up and walk away from his desk without hanging up first. His colleagues, who were trying and failing to stifle their laughter, tried fruitlessly to gain his attention, but he just couldn't be bothered and went about his daily activities completely oblivious to the fact that his goods were on display to the entire office. Sheesh. When one of his co-workers was able to get Tony's attention by calling him in, he turned around with a priceless expression on his face, then made a mad dash around the room in an attempt to get some pants to cover up with. If we're being completely honest, most of us are out here parading around the house in our underwear or completely naked. We simply can't be bothered to dress up because we aren't going anywhere and no one's coming over either. Plus, there's something liberating about prancing around the house au natural. However, my personal advice is when you have to attend a video conference, you should consider putting on some pants, or if you really can't be bothered, make sure you remember to hang up before standing up so you don't end up like poor Tony.
Hey,
Oh my God.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You said come in!
No, I didn't.
A kid interrupted his mom's Zoom meeting in the weirdest way possible. In addition to the list of video conferencing mishap prevention measures that we have given you, you should add, always shut the door and keep your children away from the vicinity of your meeting area. Why? Because kids say the craziest things, and this quarantine incident proves it. Twitter user Vice Berman took to the Bird app to tell her followers about the stunt her son pulled while she was in a Zoom meeting. She tweeted, "My kid just walked into my video conference, yelled, 'Look at my penis!' and hit the button on his fart machine. Working from home going really great. Oh, kids say the darndest things. A person got fined for eating a kebab on a bench." You've got to be kidding. I know, even Mark McGowan, Premier of Western Australia, couldn't contain his amusement when this case came up during a press conference.
I believe someone was going for a run and then stopped to have a kebab. But in any event.
With the present pandemic, life as we know it has been altered, and so many activities we knew to be normal have now become illegal. An example of this is in the case of the 21-year-old who went for a run and was fined $1,000 for eating a kebab on a bench. The statement by the Australian politician threw more light on the situation as he pointed out that the problem wasn't going for a run or eating a kebab. The problem was doing so without regard to the new social distancing guidelines. Mr. McGowan confirmed this when he said, "There's nothing wrong with going for a run and buying a kebab." Further investigation showed that the 21-year-old had been warned twice earlier that day by the police. Have no fear, purchasing your favorite meaty treat isn't illegal as long as you're doing it while respecting social distancing rules. Wait, are we gonna talk about how he went exercising, probably to keep fit, and then proceeded to purchase a kebab immediately after? You know what? Never mind.
But I don't think there's anything wrong.
People are getting fined for sitting in their cars without reasonable excuses for not being at home. These fines are just getting more and more ridiculous. Imagine getting pulled over by a cop like, "Why aren't you at home?" And you say something like, "I just wanted to take a walk," and boom, you owe the government money because your excuse for not being at home isn't tangible enough. Am I the only one starting to think this whole thing was put together by our capitalist overlords? If it sounds crazy to you too, then you can imagine how the 34-year-old woman who was stopped at a roadside breath test in Moree felt when she was fined for being outside without a reasonable excuse to not be at home. As ridiculous as this law may sound, we have to obey them dutifully to curb the spread of the virus and protect ourselves and our loved ones. People are getting lost trying to find their way around Zoom. The only thing that sucks more than being the new student is being the new student who went to the wrong class, right? Wrong. Accidentally entering the wrong code and ending up in the wrong Zoom class in the wrong country and then not knowing how to exit the class sucks the most. This was the case of a young Zoom user who ended up in the wrong Zoom class, and the only thing he could say in his defense was, "I was given the code." Zoom shared this hilarious video on their Twitter page. The teacher in charge of the class politely asked him to leave, and he went ahead to wave goodbye with a toothy grin. I mean, literally wave goodbye to the class and then stayed put. The coordinator, who was clearly getting agitated, reminded him again to leave, and the confused Zoom user replied, "So what am I supposed to do now?" I just wonder how the teacher didn't facepalm at this point. What's your most embarrassing Zoom moment? Tell us in the comments. Fruits are undergoing surgery. One of the resulting factors of being cooped up at home is that people are bored out of their minds and will do just about anything to relieve this boredom, so now fruits are undergoing surgical procedures. On behalf of the team, I just want to say congratulations to the orange that underwent C-section and came out with 10 carpals. She had decouplets. Their father must be very juiced up about becoming a daddy. Since congratulations are in order, we should also congratulate the strawberry who successfully underwent plastic surgery and surfaced with beautiful, smooth, blemish-free skin. The doctors that performed both surgeries should be highly commended for their amazing work. This is boredom at its finest. A man disguised himself as a tree to go out. Desperate times call for desperate measures. This was indeed the situation with the neighbor of the teenage couple, Madeline Mai Davies and Nicholas Murray, who hatched a plan to allow him to bypass the lockdown laws and go out without being caught. The Stevenage, UK resident devised a plan to sneak out of quarantine and go out by disguising himself as a tree, but the couple snitched. People aren't allowed outside, but there isn't a law that prohibits a tree from going for a walk every now and then, right? We are in no way in support of the disobedience of the lockdown rules and laws, as we are all well aware that doing so jeopardizes the health of the culprit and his family, as well as the entire nation, but you have to admit, it was kind of funny. And he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids, or in this case, teenagers. And that is all for today. Let us know if you enjoyed this rib-cracking episode, and tell us which of these incidents on our list did you find the most amusing. Are there any other funny incidents we omitted? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more ridiculous content. And you don't want to miss any of our posts? Well, go ahead and turn on the post notifications by hitting the little bell in the corner. Until next time, stay safe, strictly adhere to corona prevention measures, and avoid turning on your potato filter.